Welcome to IPATH Restorative Yoga. This in-home audio is intended for yoga teachers and healthcare professionals or students who have practiced at least 6 IPATH sessions with a certified IPATH teacher. You will need 2 to 3 blocks. 20 minutes will be devoted to opening your heart with MFR, Myofascial release. Come on down onto your yoga mat or a little thicker Pilates mat. As you rest comfortably on your back, you'll have one block under your shoulder blades. The other block will be under your head. Let's review the exact placement for the blocks that go under your head and under your shoulder blades. In order for the myofascial release of tension to work appropriately, your body needs to be as relaxed as possible. So any position that you find yourself in, if you need to adjust, please do. But it is very important that we start with the blocks in the anatomical position. So the block that's under your shoulder blades is the width. The width means the shorter end of your mat, which is the top of your head, is the longest part of the block. It goes side to side, as wide as your shoulder blades. You need to feel the shoulder blades, the scapula, on the block centered. Okay, it's very important to center this. Your shoulder blades are directly at the back of your heart. So feel your heart. You know where that is. The block is beneath that. Also, another way to pinpoint exactly the position, it's in line with your armpits. So go ahead and poke around, feel your armpits, and be sure that the block is directly under the armpits. Once again, to repeat, the block is under the shoulder blades, on the blades themselves, not at the back of the neck, please, right behind the heart, and right in line with your armpits. The block that's under your head, we have 3 heights. For perfect posture, the block is flat, the same height as the block that's under your shoulder blades. The second height, and probably the height that most of us are, would be the second height. Let's try it there. And then if you consider yourself in poor condition in terms of your head might be jutting forward when you stand up, you're out of alignment, the block could be on the highest height. But let's review exactly where it needs to be. Let's go to the middle height first. Once your head rests on the middle height and you have the block that's under your shoulder blades, go ahead and rest there. Your chin would need to be perpendicular to the floor. Now, this is something that you can feel. Your IPATH teacher would actually help you to adjust this. But again, you'd not want your chin too low, not too high, just right, perpendicular to the floor. Or if you were standing up, your chin would be parallel to the earth. Take a moment in the position and rest for about 10 seconds, 15 seconds at the most. If you don't feel comfortable, you can modify the block that's under your shoulder blades. For example, you would not want any tension or any pinching or the block edge to wedge between the vertebrae itself. At this moment, your cervical spine and your lumbar spine is the exact same height, and so you'd want that to be comfortable. As a matter of fact, like all yoga practices, each pose, each move, you're meant to be as comfortable as possible. If you're not comfortable, please make the adjustment after you've come into the anatomical position, the correct position. Then you can make any adjustment you like to be comfortable. Being comfortable is the way we need to work within for the optimal effect of lengthening your body. and releasing fascia. If at any moment your legs feel the need to bend, or if you feel that lengthening your legs might be a bit much for the lower back, you can always prop pillows under your knees or bend your knees to continue with the heart opener. Now that we've set your outside frame up, let's begin to work inward with the breath. Notice how many seconds you're inhaling and how many seconds you're exhaling. The average adult breathes 2 seconds in and 2 seconds out. Not really enough of a deep breath to holistically cleanse the body, ridding our body of toxins. Those toxins that hide behind bones, between ligaments. And we need a deeper breath to purge through the skin. So begin to cycle your breath up, breath after breath, working your way up to an average of about 5 seconds to inhale and 5 seconds to exhale. And as you're beginning to cycle the breath up to the 5 seconds to inhale, 5 seconds to exhale, your diaphragm will begin this long journey throughout this spinal corridor. As you inhale, the diaphragm allow that to drop and deepen towards your lumbar and let it go all the way down to the belly button. And then the opposite is true. On the exhale, the diaphragm will begin to go in the opposite direction, slow and deep. So as we continue with this flow of energy, at this point you should be cycling close to about a 10-second breath. Now let's bring your focus to your shape change with the breath. As you inhale, notice where there is shape change throughout the torso. And as you exhale, notice that. Are you expanding more through the lungs or through your belly, through the abdominals? Take a moment to notice. As you continue breathing, let's come to more of a supportive postural breath, where you're taking the breath more into the lungs, filling all the way up to the shoulders, and the lungs are comprised of front, under the armpits, and even the upper back body. Take another 2 breaths to allow the breath to, and push it up. The abdominals should be moving less. The shape change should be happening less throughout the abdominals so that it supports the lower spine, bringing relief and support with the muscles in the lower back, allowing the breath to expand through the lungs. Let's take 2 breaths here. So all of this is necessary to really release that fascia and help manipulate it through the heart center. Now the heart center, that 4th chakra, spinning the wheel of contentment, ease, and serenity in our body. Let's go through the checkpoints as you're focused on your breath. Your legs are relaxed. The palms are open towards the sky. You're expanding through the lungs. Your body is relaxing, breath by breath, releasing, working inward. And we're just about ready to begin the first phase of digging deep, working with the fascia. So take another breath here, another deep cleansing breath. And then on your next inhalation, you'll extend your arms over your head, and this is called the halo position. One hand holds onto one forearm, and the other hand holds on to the opposite. Allow this to drape behind your head. Okay, let's just see where it lands. You're still focused on your breath. That is so important, vital to release and move through the fascia. And we will stay here for about 3 breaths. And as you're bringing the arms over while you're here, notice where your elbows are. Are they in front of your ears, or are they behind your ears? Notice your breath. You're still at that 10-second breath or more. Okay, let's not limit ourselves. And that's about 3 cleansing breaths. On your next inhalation, you will switch forearms. So you'll extend the arms to the sky as you inhale. Switch forearms. One hand holds onto one part of the forearm, wrist, or near the elbows, and then the other opposite. And let that, again, drape back behind your head wherever it lands. Now, this is going to be your tighter side because you chose it last. And that's what IPATH helps correct, these imbalances through habits of allowing the body to do the same thing on the same side over and over, creating imbalances. Now, this might be your tighter side because you chose it last. My cue was to go for the halo position, but I didn't direct as to which side to go first. We tend to choose the tighter side last, or the go-to side is what we always reach out for first, which can create overworking of muscles and imbalances. And that's about 3 breaths. You might feel this adjustment. So on your next inhale, take a big breath. Arms will extend towards the sky. And then exhaling here, allowing your arms to drape by your sides wherever they land. And let's take a moment to breathe here and to observe your body. Okay, this is an opportunity to observe the work that you are starting to do. Okay, notice the back of your hand, how many knuckles you have on the floor. Notice the shoulders, how they're relaxing more towards the earth. Check in with your legs that they're still relaxed, and of course that deep breath. Now we're expanding, we're lengthening our body. So your breath may be even beginning to expand. Okay, let's take one more breath here, and we'll go back to the halo position. On your next inhalation, you'll bring your arms to the ceiling, to the sky, One hand holds onto either the wrist, forearms, or elbow, and the other hand holds onto the opposite. This is the halo position. Allow this to drape behind your head as you exhale back. Settle in here for about 3 breaths. At the same time, you're observing your body. Now, again, notice where your elbows are at this point again, and that's important because for that range of motion. I love IPATH because it helps the student, the practitioner, to understand the range of motion, their lack of or length, and at the same time, as you go through this practice, you're deepening and you're lengthening instead of stretching. And I'll let you know what that's all about in a moment. So that's about 3 breaths. On your next inhalation, you'll lift your head and slowly turn it to the right. Let the side of your head rest on the block, and we're here for another 3 breaths. Check in again with your body. Are the legs relaxed? How is your breath? Where are you breathing? Are you still at that 10-second or maybe 12-second or 14-second breath? Expanding through the front, side, and back body. We're decompressing here, okay, through the ribs, which is why we're going to this halo position. Okay, the ribs get heavy. Okay, they compress anytime we are vertical. And over time, this compression will put load on our spinal column. And in order to combat that, we need to lengthen through the ribs as well as the spine. These are bones. Okay, and that's about 3 breaths on your right side. You'll slowly lift your head and you'll turn it to the left. Okay, so we're celebrating balancing. Okay, what we do on one side, we do on the opposite side, so that you are analyzing your body, working with the breath, excavating deeper and deeper towards your bones, beyond the muscles. Okay, first is that fascia, then it's the muscles, eventually we'll get down to the bones. That's why we hold these positions. Take another breath here. And on your next inhalation, you'll slowly lift your head, coming back to center, exhaling. On your next inhale, let's switch forearms. Again, anywhere on the forearm between the wrist, the forearms, and the elbows, as long as you're comfortable. That's the caveat. You must be comfortable. And then as you exhale, you're allowing the arms to drape behind your head again. Let's stay here for another 3 breaths. On your next inhale, you'll slowly lift your head and turn it to the left first this time. Good. The side of your head, your ear, notice how close it is or isn't to the block. Check in with your breath. Allow your body to completely relax. And on your next inhalation, you'll slowly lift your head and turn it to the opposite. This should be to the right. We're here for another 3 breaths. At this point, what we're allowing the body to do is a bit of muscular activation and then resting. allowing, if your head is now to the right, we're working through the muscles all the way down and then to the opposite hip. Okay, and this holding pattern again will allow the fascia to completely succumb and release, releasing the tension, releasing the tightness. That fascia is like a web throughout our entire body. And some parts are tighter than others, and this balancing effect that we're doing to completely allow this fascia to melt and release is how the body actually heals itself as we head towards the muscles and then again towards the bones. That is about 3 breaths. On your next inhale, you'll bring your head back to center and rest here for a moment, about 2 breaths. Okay, let's continue with this heart opener. On your next inhale, extend your arms to the sky. And as you exhale, slowly relax and allow your arms to drape by your sides. Now, you may feel this adjustment. We've been in the halo position for about 16 cycles of breaths. And with this mind-body connection, we'd want to feel the work that we're doing. We want to feel how the body is expanding. We want to feel how our body is creating space. Space so that the heart beats at a slower rate, less stress, opening up thousands of canals of energy, those nadis, throughout our thoracic spine at that heart center, feeding all the way towards the extremities, the fingers and the toes, creating circulation, optimum, holistic health for our bodies, eliminating pain ultimately. Let's stay here for another breath. Notice your body. Notice every detail. How many knuckles do you have on the floor? The back of the hand is resting there. How far are your arms away from your body now? Notice any changes, good or bad, that may have occurred with your body. Okay, let's begin to come down. You'll slowly bend your knees. Let the feet rest on the earth for a moment. Rolling over to your left side, keeping your head down, remove the 2 blocks with your right arm. And then slowly take about 3 seconds to come onto your back to rest. 1001, 1002, 1003, and you should be on your back. Arms, again, extended by your sides. Check in with your legs, a little wider than your hips. Notice your ankles, how close they are or aren't to the earth. Notice the back of the hand, palms open to the sky, continuing to allow the shoulders to drape towards the center of earth. Check in with your breath and begin to analyze and notice what you've done. Notice how you feel. Notice your breath. Do you feel that expansion in the heart center? Do you feel broad throughout the shoulders? And my favorite word, do you feel flat? You have excavated towards the bones. Layer after layer, you have eliminated stress and tension through the heart center, all the way up to about C2-3, cervical spine, all the way up through the shoulders. Let's stay here for 3 more breaths. This is the IPATH Heart Opener, Integral Postural Alignment Therapy. The first sequence, the heart opener, is that MFR, myofascial release of tension, that allows the thoracic spine, cervical spine, lumbar to begin to open and expand. The subsequent videos will continue allowing the body, the spinal column, all the way down to lumbar sacrum. So you can review those after this video and this audio. Stay here and enjoy your heart opener for as long as you'd like. My name is Denise Cavanaugh, and I wish you peace, ever light. Namaste.